Yo, hey, what is up, guys? It's in, and today I'm going to be comparing the XM1 versus the Roccat Burst Pro. Now, these are both very solid mice. They're very similar as well, shape-wise, weight-wise, and everything else-wise, really. They're quite similar. And a lot of people, ask me, which one should I get? Should I get the XM1 or should I get the Burst Pro? And I'm going to make this review to kind of clear that up, to compare the differences, to tell you which one you should get, or like which one's going to be better for you. Talk about what I like about, one, and talk about what I don't like about the other. And so let's get into it. So let's talk about the weight. Both are 70 grams. This is 69 grams. I don't think it really matters. 1 gram difference is not gonna be uh, you know, a feelable difference, I guess. The weight distribution is really good on both. They're very, very good. It's not back heavy. The Burst Pro has like this inner honeycomb design that makes it lighter. It's cool. It doesn't really mess with the structural integrity of the mouse. So yeah, that's all for weight. Now for clicks, the Roccat Burst Pro has the Titan Pro clicks. Rocat's new what's it called? Optical switches. So let me give them a listen. They're very clanky. Um, they're very heavy and they're very tactile. Some people love them, some people don't. When I first got them, I didn't really like them, and now I've gotten used to them. It's actually not that bad. Once you get used to them, they do become pretty, enjoyable to use. But they're quite heavy, so if you don't like heavy switches, I recommend to not get this mouse. Let's talk about the XM1 clicks. Let me give you a listen. Yeah, the XM1 clicks are mushier. They're quite a bit lighter. They're just basically Omron switches, a classic mouse click experience that you're gonna get. Nothing really different. It's not insane. It's not mind blowing, but it's not bad either at all. Scroll wheel wise, um, they're both very similar scroll wheels. I would say I like the XM ones a bit more because this just feels a bit flimsier. They're not the best scroll wheels, but they definitely work, and they're not bad. So mouse feet. I swapped out my mouse feet on the XM1 for Tiger Arc 2's. The stock feet, they're they're good. They're pretty pure PTFE. However, they do not come in properly rounded, which means that it scratches a lot, especially on my hand. It scratched a lot, so I got them swapped out for some properly rounded Tiger Arc 2's, as you can see there. And now it's a blast to use. The Burst Pro, probably the best out of box, mouse feet experience you're gonna get. It's pretty smooth. It's really smooth. It's not as good as a third party feet experience. However, it's as damn close to that as you're gonna get on on stock feet. So props to Rocat for that. These feet are really good. let's let's talk about the aesthetics now. So they both come in black and white. There's an XM1 RGB version. I wouldn't really get that. It's a bit heavier and the feet are a bit different. You really don't need to spend more for that, while there is the normal XM1. The Burst Pro comes with RGB. As you can see, it comes through these little, uh, you know, holes inside of the mouse. And it comes with black as well. So there's that, really, I'll just give you a look of each mouse. The XM1 coating is a fingerprint magnet. It's an insanely good coating though. It just feels very grippy. It feels almost like rubber like, but it's not. So that's really good. The Burst Pro coatings on the sides, there's this honeycomb design that makes the sides extremely grippy. However, the back is plastic and it's quite slippery. So it's like a 50-50. I'm not too sure if I like the coating that much. The The plastic coating is bad, however, the side coating is really good. Now let's talk about the cables. The Rocket mice usually come with a rubber cable that's not good, so you have to get that swapped out. So with the Burst Pro, they actually, it got an included paracord cable. I forgot what they called it, but it's they call it a paracord cable. Of course, it's not a paracord cable. So I'm gonna show you the flexibility of both. Oops. So yeah, moves. As you can see, the XM1 cable is quite a bit more flexible than the Burst Pro's one. So for cable wise, I think the XM1 wins. The XM1 probably, not probably, the XM1 has the best stock cable that you can buy on a mouse. Um, but the Burst Pro's cable is by no means bad. However, it's not as good as the XM1. I didn't need to feel, I didn't have the need to change the XM1 cable. However, you might want to change the Burst Pro's cable. So sensor, both 3389s, you know, very good sensor. Really nothing to talk about here. They're not gonna let you down. The Rockcat has sensor has some jargon on top of it called like fucking owl eye or whatever. It doesn't really matter. They're just a 3389. Sensors should be the least of your worries for a mouse in 2020. And let's talk about the shape now. Now the shape. Now the Burst Pro made me realize something that I didn't know before. The Burst Pro has straight sides, right? Like, let me show it like this. And the XM1 has curvy sides. I realized that I didn't like curvy sides. I love the XM1. However, my pinky and my ring finger always felt off on a curvy side because it just didn't feel like I had place to put it. However, with the Burst Pro, because of the straight sides, they feel so much more natural on the mouse. So what I realize is I do not like curvy sides on mice, and I wish, every mouse had more straight sides. But of course, this is personal preference, and you might love the curvy sides on the XM1 and hate the straight sides on the Burst Pro. However, for the sides, I like the Burst Pro better. Now let's talk about the hump. Now the hump of the Rocat Burst Pro is quite a bit wider. Not quite a bit. I'm sorry. It's a bit wider, I guess. Not very noticeable spec wise. It's a couple millimeters, but it's you can feel the difference for sure. And the Burst Pro hump is also quite a bit fuller. So what that means is when you hold the mouse in your palm, it's gonna fill it up more compared to the XM1. So this makes the Burst Pro feel quite a bit larger than the XM1, although specifications wise, they're quite similar. But because of the wider hump and the fuller hump, the Burst Pro definitely feels bigger. I do not really like that much. That's why I prefer the XL1's back hump more. The shape of the back hump and the height of it is better in my opinion. Again, just personal preference. And in conclusion, I like both mice a lot. These are two very solid, contenders. I performed well with both, but I performed better in game with the XL1. So I don't know what that really says, but so the thing is, hand size. i- These two mice require wider hands. So if you're gonna get the XL1, make sure to have minimum 18 by 10 hands, and for the Burst Pro, 18 by 10.5. If you go below that, it's not gonna be a very enjoyable experience for you because you're not gonna have wide enough hands, and it's just gonna hurt. And which one to pick? If you like bigger and fuller mice, pick the Burst Pro, and if you like smaller and um, I guess a bit more mobile mice, I guess. I don't really know what to say. Uh, then I would pick the XM1 because the XM1 does feel quite a bit smaller in your hand. So thank you for watching, and if you have came this far, I want to show you a little secret that might indicate my next video. So thanks for watching. I love you all, and have a great day.